Welcome to another episode of Mastermind Bites. Hi, my name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Mastermind Bites, I get to feature another incredible individual. And over the last few years, I've just been privileged and very honored to meet some amazing people and just to be there in a room with them, learn from them, hear their stories, and just to understand how they got to the success that they've gotten. And just got to get their lessons learned, put them into our businesses and also into our personal lives, and just grow and learn from them. Today, I get to feature Mr. Christopher Lloyd, aka Uncle Fester or Dr. Brown, and all those great roles that he's played over the years. This guy is absolutely amazing. He's been a great actor. He's done a lot of amazing roles, and he's just continuing on to take on different roles and continue on to add to his craft and just add more value to different cameos and different shows and all that kind of stuff, and always gives back, as he is also very involved with the Parkinson's Foundation that Michael J. Fox has put together. Now, there's a lot of things that Christopher Lloyd has done that could really be something that we can learn to put into our daily lives and also our business lives as well. And there was 5 main things that I got out of his interviews, got to when he was speaking at his panels and when he was talking to us. It was amazing because it was just that very intimate one-on-one situation. And these 5 things are: number 1, you really never know what you're going to get, and you don't know until you go and look for it. You never know until you give it a chance. Number 2 is there is no such thing as no small roles. There's no such thing as small projects or small parts, as long as you put your time into it. Number 3, always give back, always be grateful for all those people who has gotten you to where you are today. Number 4, adjust. You have to be able to adjust to be able to succeed. You have to be flexible. And then number 5, it's the whole, when you worry about too much about something, sometimes you're worrying about nothing. And these are the 5 things I thought was very applicable to our business lives and our daily lives as well, for us to succeed and grow. Going back to number 1 is that you never know until you give it a chance. And the story goes that apparently Christopher Lloyd was about to pass on the Back to the Future role, one of the most defining roles of his career. And the reason why was, at the time he was at Mexico, he was doing a certain role, and he was also offered a different role. And then Back to the Future came in, and at the time the script to Back to the Future was not exactly something that screamed success, where you travel back in time. It was kind of kooky, weird relationships and all that kind of stuff. And the thing is, that was not a script for success. And he kind of flipped through it, didn't really give much of a chance, and decided to go, you know what, I don't want to do this, and kind of threw it away. At the time, somebody was actually with him and says, you know what, don't leave any stone unturned. Don't give up on opportunities that you've never even given a chance to. So that's when he actually picked it up. He actually gave it some reading, and then also went and met the director. And then after some talks, and found out how passionate, how much energy the cast had, how much energy and passionate the director had and the writer had, he was like, okay, let's give this a try. And eventually it became one of the biggest roles that he's ever gotten. And he's still known for his work on Doc Brown today, as many fans, still fans that were not even born yet when that movie was out, are coming to fruition because they've found his role absolutely amazing. And I'm a big fan of that movie, and thought that he did a great job. And also, that role was also one of the roles that got me to know who Christopher Lloyd is. He later on took on Addams Family, and also he had done a lot of different things. He was also in Taxi before that, and just all the stuff that he does screams how good of a character actor he is. Number 2, there's no such thing as small roles. There's no such thing as small projects. He's always said that he's always willing to work. He's always willing to lend his craft out, because as long as it's not a bad script, as long as it's not a bad project, there's no such thing as small. So therefore, he's still appearing in so many different things. He cameos in lots of different shows. He's been on TV a lot. He was on Big Bang. He was on Roseanne. He was on Spin City. He was on so many different things, Law and Order. And because he loves his craft, he loves what he does, and therefore he does all of it. As long as it's true to his brand, true to himself, and also something he enjoys, then he will take up on that role, and he still loves it. It keeps him relevant, he keeps him active, he keeps him very, very involved with that industry. So we can't always look at the big things. We can't always go chasing for that big deal. Sometimes we have to look at the small deals. Sometimes we have to look at the small opportunities, and that could build up towards that bigger opportunity. But if it doesn't, it still keeps us involved, keeps us active. So there's no such thing as small parts, small roles, and therefore take every opportunity you can, and just as long as you love it, just keep on doing it. Number 3 is having that gratitude, being thankful for all the people that's gotten you to where you are today. To this day, he is still very involved with regards to the Comic-Con circuits, the Comic-Cons and the conferences and the meet and greets. And also he's very involved with Twitter, being involved in social media, talking to his fans, doing videos and all that kind of stuff, because he knows how to do fan service. He knows that it's his fans that gets him the recognition, that gets him the relevancy of what he's doing to this very day. And therefore he spends lots of time with them. He makes it very, very engaging. When we met him, it was absolutely phenomenal. He talked to us a bit and made sure that we got value from meeting him, and it was very, very fun, very, very amazing. So always give back, always acknowledge the people that have been there for you, who's gotten you the success that you have gotten. Number 4 is the whole adjustment. Being a person who's in acting, he adjusts all the time. In fact, at the very beginning, he didn't want to do comedy. He didn't want to do movies or films. He wanted to become a theater actor. He was a theater actor at the time, and he was actually pushing away a lot of different opportunities that moved him into different things. But then all of a sudden he goes, you know what, let's try different things. And then he started liking it. He started getting involved in comedy. He started getting involved with lots of character acting opportunities, and also involved with lots of TV as well. And it's just one of those things you just never know. So he adjusted to those roles. He adjusted to who he is. He adjusted to the environment of what people are giving him opportunities to. Also, with regards to adjustment, when he took on the Roger Rabbit role, it was a really, really different scenario, a very, very difficult role at the time, because he was working with characters that didn't exist on live. He was looking at things that weren't there. He was working with puppets. He was working with animatronics that weren't actually there or had different eye lines. So it was just one of those things that he has to work hard on. He has to adjust to it. He has to adapt, and then practice. After you practice, do lots of reps, once you start filming, once you start doing the real thing, then you're able to do it without any problems. So the thing is, adjustment is very, very important. Flexibility is also very, very important. And when it comes to business, when it comes to our daily lives, we have to be able to adjust. If we're not adjusting, then eventually things are going to catch up to us. If we're not adjusting to a technology, if we're not adjusting to the environment or the economy, then we're going to fall behind. And just like him, you have to be able to be flexible and adjust to what's going on around you. And finally, worrying. Sometimes when we worry too much, it stops us from actually being productive. It stops us from being able to be confident in what we're doing. One of the roles that he's gotten is Uncle Fester. And he's always been a big, big fan of the Uncle Fester character. He's loved it. And when he was casted in the role of Uncle Fester in the Addams Family, he was delighted. He was very, very happy. However, he was worried about the connection between him and the character of Uncle Fester. He didn't exactly portray the same characteristics, the same physique as Uncle Fester, and he kept on worrying about how is he gonna be able to portray that character? How is he able to bring that character to life? And he kept on going, you know what, I don't know. He kept on worrying. So then the directors and the makeup artists go, so, okay, we'll put on the makeup, we'll do the prosthetics and all that kind of stuff. He was still worried about it because he was thinking, well, it's still not a good fit. I'm too tall. I'm too skinny. All this stuff kept on giving himself a lot of limited beliefs and kept on worrying about how he's going to portray that role. And then he did the makeup test, he did the screen testing, and he was like, you know what, I'm not going to get this role. He didn't sleep for a few days. He was very worried. He was thinking that he did not do it justice. He knew for a fact that he was going to get fired. A few days later, they called him back in. It was very somber. He's like, Chris, can you come in? We have to talk to you. And there was a lot of people in that room. He walks into that room. He goes, you know, he was thinking, this is for sure the day he was going to get fired. He's not going to get that role. And he was looking across the room and saw somebody standing there who looked like Uncle Fester, with the physique, with the bald head, and the roundness of him, the roundness of the face, and all that kind of stuff. And he goes, you know what? They already got a replacement for me. And then once he walked into that door, the directors pulled him aside and goes, you know what? We looked at the screen test, we looked at the makeup test, and we could tell you what's not working. The makeup and the prosthetics is not working. We'll do something else. And they kept him on. It turns out that the person across the room was his stunt double, his body double. And it turned out that once they put the makeup on him without the prosthetics, allowing him to emote, allowing him to search for that character himself, he eventually found that role. He found that character. He was able to make a great results with that character. In fact, to the point where they actually did a second movie with him as one of the center characters as again. So sometimes when you worry too much, we stop thinking about what we're good at. We stop thinking about how we can make it successful. And once we start worrying, we stop thinking about the possibilities. And sometimes the thing is, we worry so much that we're worrying about something that doesn't even apply to what's going on. For instance, when it comes to real estate, when it comes to business, sometimes we worry about the tenants, we worry about evictions, we worry about all this stuff that may not ever happen. So therefore, don't worry about it until it actually comes up, and maybe it's not going to come up at all. So those are the 5 things that I got from Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Number 1 is you never know. Always, always, always look at all the opportunities before you give up on it. Number 2, there's no such thing as small roles. There's no such things as small projects. As long as it fits your brand, as long as it fits your goals and your passion, then do it. Number 3, give back to the fans, give back to those people who have helped you get you to where you are. Number 4, adjust, be flexible, because you have to be able to be flexible in order to be able to adjust to the things around you. Number 5, always, always, always do not worry. Because the thing is, when you worry too much, it stops you from progressing. It stops you from finding out how you can make things work. And sometimes what you're worrying about will not actually come true. So therefore, those are the 5 things I thought was very, very great for applying into our daily lives. And Christopher Lloyd is one of those people I really look up to because of his work and what he's still doing to this very day, giving back to those people, giving back to the environment, giving back to the Parkinson's Foundation, and being relevant at the same time. So if you like this episode, please go back to watch some of my other Mastermind Bites. Also, if you like this show, go back and watch some of our other shows, the Make More Mind Bites, the Unlocking Your Mind, and also the Peak Potential Session that goes up every single week. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your support. I highly, highly appreciate your comments and your subscriptions. Much appreciated. And until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. We'll see you later.